Hi there and happy spring. It's finally spring. I'm Tracy Ringel. I'm the Communications Specialist for the City of Novi, and welcome to Common Knowledge. I'm here today to introduce Karen Kapchonick, who is our new Older Adult Services Manager. And she is taking the position formerly held by Rachel Zagaroli, who retired last month. So I wanted to welcome you, Karen, to your first edition of Common Knowledge. Some of you may recognize Karen. She's not new to the City of Novi, but new to the position of Older Adult Services Manager. So I'm hoping you can tell us a little bit about yourself and your experiences thus far in Novi and where you want to go from here.
Well, thanks, Tracy.
Yeah.
It's been an exciting adventure, and I look forward to continuing on working with Novi, but at a different capacity. The last year and a half, I was very fortunate to do the special events for our older adults, which every month we had a theme party. And that was fantastic because we incorporated the older adults. They were our decorating committee, they were our serving committee. And I got to know quite a few of them, and in addition to that, just some of their needs. I'm looking forward to working with them in a kind of like saying, you know, what are some of the other things that you would like to offered in Novi?
Sure. And the program now is really comprehensive. I mean, the Older Adult Services Department a couple years ago created a strategic plan. And in that plan, it talked about the types of programs that we're offering now and the type of enhancements that could be made. So are there certain things that you're really looking forward to digging into to enhance the program and take it a step further? Are there things that you think that you're going to keep very similar to what they are now?
Well, I think we're going to move forward, but certainly Rachel and her staff have done a fantastic job in vision, along with our new advisory board. So the focus at this point is going to stay on course with what their strategic plan is, and then eventually, as we see, maybe make new changes for our younger older adult population, say those that are 50 and older. We'd like to do some adventure programs, incorporate some of their wishes. We have a wide range of ages, so we're looking at, you know, what is it that every age wants to do, and then do a crossover on things. So, you know, it would be exciting. It will be a big challenge, but we have a great foundation, and certainly we never want to change that foundation.
Sure. You mentioned Older Adult Services Committee. Can you touch on that? That's a relatively new thing for the Older Adult Services Program. Can you touch on the membership as far as what they bring to the committee and then what you're able to implement from their thoughts and ideas?
Yeah, our advisory committee started in September of 2013, and we have 7 fantastic members that live in the community, and they all bring a different perspective of what older adults activities should be, looking at transitions being those that are working now, going to retire. Well, what do I do in my retirement years? Or those that have been in retirement and maybe are now taking care of their elder parents. A different type of transition for them. Or those that have been sick for a period of time, and what kind of services do we have to offer? So each one of those members can give us a new vision, can assist us, some even in grants. There's many grants out there that we would like to try to take advantage of, and I think we have 2 that are I'm going to say experts in it, but they certainly have the resources for us.
Good, to just help the staff continue to grow programming.
Right, which would be fantastic for Novi and the residents there. Even if you're a resident and you maybe have elder parents, you know, we can be a resource for them, even though those parents may live in a different city.
Right. You talk a little bit about resources. In Engage, which is the publication, it's our community publication that's done 3 times a year, and it's sent to all homes and businesses in Novi, and it's got programs from every community member, from a 2-year-old or younger to one of our older adults. But the section of that is geared towards the older adult programming, it talks about social services, it talks about special events, it talks about fitness and health and education, and the social aspect, like the card games and things like that. Can you touch on some of the programs, just for maybe we have a new audience member that's watching Common Knowledge for the first time today? Kind of give an overview of different offerings.
Oh, sure. You know, when you look at card games or games in general, board games, we just started a Mahjong Mondays, and we're starting to see an increase of people wanting to play Mahjong. Of course, our bridge, our euchre, and pinochle, bingo have always been popular. But we want to try to bring in some new types of activities for them for our special events. We're trying to do a Kentucky Derby, something out of the unordinary.
Sure. Sure.
For transportation, it's been a great opportunity for, say, a parent that has decided not to drive anymore. And that's always a very difficult situation. It can be difficult for the children or the caregiver. But once they do give that up, we have the services to assist that family in getting mom or dad to the stores, to the doctor's offices. Sure. Our Novi's been fortunate in having the different vans and the cars. Right. So all they have to do is call our transportation department, and we'll make arrangements and talk to them and say what would be good for them.
Right. And the hours for transportation have recently been expanded. I believe they go till 9 p.m. on weeknights?
No, we have them just till about 4:30.
Oh, 4:30. Okay.
But we did go on to Saturdays.
Saturdays, maybe that's.
And that's
what I was thinking.
limited time too.
Okay, great. So they can go anywhere in Novi, and then if they need to go outside of Novi, there's some opportunity for that as well.
Right. We work with within a 10-mile radius, and that radius is right there from Civic Center.
Okay.
So it does take us outside the boundaries of Novi.
Sure.
And there's different rates for if you were to attend a city activity,
right,
or a doctor's office, or you're going beyond a certain area.
Okay.
So various rates, and anybody can take a look at the city web and get that information, or certainly give us a call and we can mail you our transportation guidelines.
Sure, sure. And then fitness and health is another big component for the older adult population. I mean, obviously, most of us know, we don't always put to practice, but we know if you keep moving, you're likely to keep moving longer. And the program has made it a conscious effort to expand offerings. Do you want to touch a little bit on those?
Oh, sure. And you're absolutely right. Keeping moving is so important. And we have different levels of classes. We even have a class just for the men if they want to take a class. We have activities where you sit on a chair and you use very limited weights. It's just about keeping those bones going. And the social interaction that takes place is unbelievable.
Right.
A lot of times they don't want to get involved in an exercise class, but they've been told. But once they get there, they get to meet other people. They all have the same common views on exercise, and then wanting to do something. Walking program we just started. We also have a softball league. We have a golf league. Trying to look at different ways to keep an individual motivated. We're going to do table tennis. We're going to do horseshoes.
Fun.
Those are 2 new programs coming up. Eventually, maybe we would do treasure hunting, where you go out with a metal detector and look for what is all underneath our ground surface.
Right.
Like to do geocaching.
Yep, big thing.
So there's some things fitness-wise that we can accommodate individuals.
Sure, and getting people into one of Novi's many parks in our park system, our comprehensive system. So that's always a benefit too, just to be able to get more people out of doors.
Absolutely, and walking through those parks.
Clubs,
We have so much to offer here in Novi.
Right, right. And you talked a little bit about adventure programming, so that'll come down the road, and that may even be the next level of some of those activities.
Yes.
So I think that's really exciting, especially like you mentioned for that 50 to 65 crowd or whatever, whoever can accomplish those things would be fantastic. We talked about how to get to programs. We need to talk about how they learn about programs. I mentioned Engage a little bit, and it's that 100-page booklet or so that's sent to every home and business in Novi. It's available on the website cityofnovi.org. but we also have an older adult specific newsletter called Enhance. Do you want to touch a little bit about that, what people see in Enhance? And it's mailed to every household that has a registered voter that is 50 years or better. And we do that 3 times a year as well.
And we find that we have about over 10,000 individuals that that Enhanced newsletter is going out to. And with your assistance and other individuals, we've been able to enlarge that in different ways and get the information of all of our programs. Instead of going, like you had mentioned, into the Engage, where it has so many different pages. This is dedicated to them. We put our transportation, we put the fitness programs in there. We give you helpful hints. We'll have the Memorial Day parade coming up, so that will be in our next issue, along with some of our summer activities. And you always add that special touch to it. So, it's really interesting. When the Engage goes out, we don't get a lot of calls, but when that Enhance goes out, we get a lot of calls, and sometimes people will come in walking in with it and say, "This is where I heard about it.
Good.
What can you tell me?"
Good.
So we know that marketing tool's working.
Yeah. And then also another way that I forgot to mention was Facebook. With more and more of our older adults have gone through their careers using computers, along the way, or have learned from their children and grandchildren about how to stay connected online. You have a Boomers and Beyond Facebook page.
We do, and it is getting the hits, as they say. Well, we got a lot of people that like it.
Good.
Sandy in our office does a fabulous job on posting pretty much every single day. And then we take the pictures from our events, we post it, we put helpful hints on there, and work with the library. So it's working all together as a group.
Sure.
And getting that information out. But Facebook is the thing, and I'm sure other things are coming down the pike.
I'm sure it'll transition here shortly. Sure. We talked about how to get to programs. We talked a little bit how to learn about them. Where's your office?
Our office is located at Civic Center, right there on 10 Mile, and we've been there about a year and a half now. We moved from the Meadowbrook Activity Center and started doing programming out of Civic Center. So now we have 2 locations that we can program activities, which works out great. We're expanding. Right.
And the next big upcoming activity at the Civic Center and outdoors and down 10 Mile is Memorial Day. Do you want to touch base on Memorial Day?
Well, Memorial Day is certainly a tribute to our veterans and all those that really believe in our country. And so with that, Novi has a parade that starts right just east of Haggerty on Carum, and they go down 10 Mile all the way to Civic Center, which is about a 2.5 mile hike. But when you see it on that day, all the floats, the marchers, they're there to have a good time and represent our country. And then that's on Memorial Day. Parade starts at 10 o'clock. We're always encouraging people to come out and cheer the parade participants. And if not, be a participant yourself. And then we're encouraging veterans to give us a call. We provide a float, we put them on the float, and we drive them, and then we have a lunch for them afterwards.
Yep. And they can also find the information, the registration forms on cityofnovi.org too, to be a part of the parade.
That's correct.
Any veteran or civic organization or business in Novi can participate in that.
Correct.
Great. Anything else that you want to touch on upcoming that our audience will be interested in?
Well, we're always encouraged by hearing from our audience or general public in terms of activities that they would like to see. Or maybe there's been a program that they've gone on vacation and they say, hey, this is great. I know we have some snowbirds that go down to Florida and they come back and they say, what about this? Pickleball's another up and coming thing, and maybe we can accommodate them that way. But anytime somebody has an activity or a suggestion, we're very open to it.
Good. Well, I'm excited that you're here as the Older Adult Services Manager, and I welcome you in that capacity, although you've been an employee for some time. And I know your team's excited to get going and taking on some new challenges and enhancing some of the things that have been brought along the way previously. So thank you for being here.
Well, thank you, Tracy, and I look forward to working with you and all
Thanks.
the other co-workers in Novi.
Yeah, it's a fun group.
Yes, it is.
Thank you very much for watching this edition of Common Knowledge, and until next time, thanks.